Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our channel where we talk SEO and everything SEO related. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for subscribing and liking our content. Today, I want to talk to you about how Google is watching user behavior and how CTR manipulation or traffic tools that are pretending to be good traffic tools are actually being measured and possibly detected by Google. So stay with me. We are going to be talking about this patent that I recently shared on my LinkedIn. And once I shared it, it created a whole wave of discussions. Is Google actually using it? Can Google detect traffic? Should you do this? Should you not do this? I am not judging. You're using traffic manipulation. Be my guest. You're not using it. That's fine as well. I just want to talk about this patent and what this patent is about. I read the patent several times, but this is not a content created by people for people. This is by engineers for utter nerds. And although I am in the nerdy category, I simply am not nerdy enough. So it took me time to understand it, and I asked Google to explain it to me, and ChatGPT, and my husband to translate it from English to normal English. So this is my understanding. The main idea of this patent is that Google is basically analyzing everything you're doing when you are getting to the website. It's not just clicks. They are trying to understand all of your interaction with the website, which we knew that every page has got different use, right? Sometimes you just need to read and scroll and watch video, and we expect you to stay on the page minutes. And then sometimes we want you to go, if we are affiliate website, read the review and convert with the client that we are promoting. And that's okay. So the clicks are going to be lower, but every page is somehow measured and Google understands it. And then Google tries to understand what you should be doing with each page and within the journey of the website. So when you come, how long you stay, what you do you scroll, do you watch, do you not watch? And they're trying to classify, is this a valid human behavior or is this actually manipulation and it's invalid input for me? And now this patent is explaining how they're doing it. And it's actually quite clever. So the main takeaway is that Google tracks behavior sequences, not just one single event. So it doesn't look at just a click or a visit. It looks at everything. You click, then you wait, then you scroll, then you click, then you look at the video, then you click somewhere else or you don't. And they sort of become the fingerprint of your behavior. And every human is sort of behaving differently, right? So timing is critical. Most of the tools, at least the ones that were around a few years back, were just manipulating traffic, clicking, and increasing the traffic. We know that traffic is a very, very important ranking signal. Therefore, the clicks, the CTR increase was very, very important. However, they didn't take in consideration all of the behavior once you click to the website. So now the interaction is seen as an event. So do you click and then what do you do? And how long it takes you to decide what you do and how long you do what you do when you take the action. So how fast or slow your action is really matters. And if the timing is extremely unnatural, because a lot of these tools are becoming more clever and they are sort of creating a dwell time, for example. But if the timing is unnatural, there is a red flag. So basically, human browsing patterns are very difficult to actually emulate for any tool because every human behaves differently. And any deviation from these weird human patterns, if they are too predictable, too uniform, they are becoming red flags and they're becoming an invalid input. So basically, what we are trying to do here is that Google can reduce or stop showing the content with this sort of manipulation. And it basically impacts your visibility. You don't have to be necessarily penalized, but if Google detects that you are manipulating it, and I'm not saying that it's going to happen right away, you start to manipulate it and the second visit through manipulation is going to be penalized. No, or seen as invalid. Google is trying to create sequences and understand these sequences. So they are basically looking into tons of visits and trying to understand the tons of visits, how you behave. So it aggregates the behavior across sessions. Basically, I am a human that would come to a website and I would behave certain way. Click takes me time, reading takes me time. English is not my first language, so I'm a slow reader. As well, I'm slightly dyslexic, so I'm actually slower reader than most of you. And then my husband comes to the website. English is his first language. He's going to be behaving faster. So behavior from human to human is sort of beautifully unique. And for any of these tools, the beautifully unique is next to impossible to recreate. But how the pattern actually works step by step. This is the main idea, but this is how it works. First, of course, it collects data. So the interaction data, click, scroll, hover, reading, scrolling again, watching video, not watching video. And there is a timestamp between everything that's happening. So let's say each action takes certain delay because you click and then you need to decide where you're going to click. But how long does this take you? So it calculates each action and it gives them certain amount of time. So click takes this much, scroll takes this much, another click takes this much. And the sequences are becoming encoded. And then it builds an interaction signature and it looks super nerdy, something like this, right? So click, scroll, click, back. And this is how we normally behave. We don't just go on a website, click on a first page and then dwell there for 5 minutes, as these tools usually do, and then just bounce back. Now it creates a model, how you behave. And the valid model, if the behavior is sort of like what it expects, it's human. And it's invalid if it's too manipulated. It's just not good enough and it doesn't pass as the ranking signal that we would like to manipulate and we would like to have an impact on our rankings. So in theory, we are position 5. We create more of these manipulated clicks. We go to position 2. No. It's basically this pattern is saying that that's not how it works. They are able to detect and they are able to not assign you this traffic as valid and not assign you that value that you have paid for that tool, and therefore you will not rank better. And not only you might not rank better because it's just invalid, it might as well take away your visibility, as we said already. So if it's invalid, exactly as I said, it blocks you, it deranks you, or it just basically doesn't count that click. And why does this matter for CTR manipulation? Because this patent is very directly relevant to these manipulative tactics. Simple CTR manipulation is outdated, and this is what we said in the beginning of the video. A few years back, it used to be bots. Click, 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 click. Then they became a little bit more sophisticated bots, and they started to a little bit behave around the website, and still bots, and could be detected. Then you have the micro workers, which is as well known as social traffic, people coming from X or people. That is the one used most for the manipulation. And if I know it, if you know it, then Google most likely know it because they already know that this social traffic exists and it's already analyzing it and it's already imprinted into this patent. So timing is the biggest weakness, right? Because as I said, every human behaves somehow. And we are so uniquely beautiful and our behavior is just, if I go to website and you go to website, we're going to do different things. I'm going to interact with it and buy a facial cream and you're going to bounce back. And this is something that is impossible for any tool to successfully, long-term successfully recreate. So Google is actually really fixating on the time of the patterns of our behavior. Human-like scripts are still detectable. So even if you are trying to look like I click here, then I dwell here and I go somewhere else, it's still unnatural because, for example, bots or this, what we call them, microhumans, social traffic, they actually never convert. And conversion, something we build these websites for. If you are a casino, you want people to deposit. If you are an Amazon, you want people to buy the shoes. If you are an affiliate website, you want those clicks to actually go and convert with the casino, actually leave to that go link and then behave someone else on that website. And all of this is tracked with this patent. So if you are just there, dwell a little bit and bounce back, or dwell and click somewhere else and leave, you still didn't do what you were supposed to do. And now let's imagine that normal humans, 200 of them come and do something. Not all of them going to convert, of course, but some are. And then you create another 1,000 clicks and none of them convert. You really think that Google, this massive technological company, is not able to understand that? So CTR spikes without behavior consistency is risk. What does this mean? High CTR happens because we buy this traffic. And then there is short dwell time or too long of a dwell time. There is no further interaction. As I said, no conversion ever, no repetitive patterns. Basically, it screams abuse. And as I said previously, Google is not able to detect this after 1 or 2 visits, not even 1 or 2 days. It's a long-term tracking. So if you are manipulating for long-term, Google is going to either ignore all of your manipulated signals, or is going to actually, even worse, put your rankings lower than they were. So I would really think about using these tools, and what actually works is real behavior, is the logical, safe, real behavior, diverse behavior paths, natural timing, multi-session engagements, scroll, clicks, dwell, all of these that tools are not able to do. So real users are different. And no matter how good the tool is, each tool has got its own brain, and that brain is very much detectable after time. So I think the safest way, if you are going to use this manipulation, is switch the tools. Go from one tool to another to confuse the pattern and buy a little bit more time. I would still say that the very classic CTR manipulation really used to boost your rankings. Now it still works, but then people stop paying attention to good SEO. They stop doing good content. They stop paying attention to their technical issues. They stop doing whatever is winning long term. And this is another thing that could be detectable. So realistically, yes, use them, but be extremely careful who you trust, who you pay for these traffic tools, and try to understand what they're doing. If they are doing bots, how are these bots behaving? If they are doing social traffic, if everything is coming from X, people, this patent already knows about it. So be beyond careful, and then switch them. Don't stay with one provider. Switch them, move them, and absolutely, if you are going to go this way, track everything, If things start to slow down or start to drop, stop this. Absolutely stop this, because best case scenario, the fake clicks will be ignored, and worst case scenario, you will actually lose your ranking. So I hope this video was useful. I really put my heart and soul into understanding what the patent is about. So if this gave you an answer, should I or should I not use manipulation, I'm very happy. And don't forget to like the video. Thank you.